All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Well, I got a burr under my saddle.
We talk, you listen.
Somebody that's going to take an innocent life is not mentally insane?
You know them.
Time to nut up or shut up.
You love to hate them.
It's the Denton and Sasquatch Show.
Can I bring my AR-15 next time?
Sure.
Yes.
This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it.
You can't handle the truth.
Hello and welcome once again to the Denton and Sasquatch Show, coming to you live from both California and Alabama. My name is Sasquatch. I'm the hairy dude in California. And then we got Denton way over there in Alabama. What's going on, my friend?
Just another beautiful day in paradise. I hope everything's going well with you as well.
Yes and no. It is a beautiful day in paradise, and I appreciate having another day on this earth.
Yes.
And the reason... What?
But there's plenty of things to laugh about because we still have liberals and politicians.
This is very true. Before we get started, the reason I said I'm happy to have this time on Earth is because I found out Saturday that an old friend of mine passed away.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, he committed suicide, which is even more of a bummer.
Oh, yeah.
He was an old radio guy I used to work with a long time ago. Had some demons. I thought he was getting past them because he had met a new woman and kind of turned his life around, but apparently not. Sad about the news, but at the same time, it makes me appreciate being here even more.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, thank you very much. Don't want to bring everybody down. I just want everybody to remember to appreciate your family, appreciate the life you have here, and live it to the fullest.
Okay.
All right. With that said, let the wackiness ensue.
Yes, because we need uplifting now.
Should I go first with the things I was talking about, or you want to go first?
Well, you said you were going to go first. That's why I would have already jumped into it. I mean, really, Fang Farrier told us, quit faffing around. I had to look up faff.
Oh, boy, faff.
That was a good one. The difference between our languages is fantastic. He speaks English and we speak American.
Yeah. Well, I speak two languages. I speak English and bad English.
Yeah, same here. But charge away.
All right. California legislators on Wednesday passed a bill that requires major companies based in the state to put female directors on their boards. If the bill is signed into law by Governor Jerry Brown, a Democrat, publicly traded companies based in the state will need to have at least one woman on their boards by the end of next year. On boards of 5 or more directors, 2 or 3 women by the end of 2021, depending on the size of the board. Those that don't would face financial penalties. The bill passed the state Senate in a 41-21 vote. It is now headed to the state Senate, which approved the earlier version of the bill and is expected to approve the measure again. Then it goes to Brown's desk, who hasn't indicated what he will do, but I guarantee you he will sign it.
And to all you companies in California who are looking for a place to come, Alabama's doors are open. Feel free.
Yeah. Well, see, my thing with this, and this is a couple weeks old. It said Wednesday, but it's probably 3 weeks old. I just found this and wanted to talk about it. Now, couldn't, under the liberal guise of being 100 different genders, couldn't there just be all men on these boards and then one of them say, well, I feel like a woman, so I'm a woman?
Well, now, that's for you people out there to decide, okay? I'm over here in Saneville. Okay, so however y'all want to figure this out, go for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you could use their own stupidity against them. You could say, I identify as a woman, even though I'm a man, so then I am the woman on this board that you said by law we had to have.
I would like somebody to do that. I mean, it would be fun to watch.
So would I. Okay, now this next one, speaking of Fang Farrier, a friend of ours, also somebody who's been on the show before, transgender person accused of rape is remanded into female prison and sexually assaults inmates within days.
Okay, I'm assuming the critter is actually male?
Yes. The prison service has apologized after a transgender inmate charged with raping a woman sexually assaulted 4 fellow inmates just days after being remanded into an all-female jail. Convicted pedophile Karen White, who was born Stephen Wood, was undergoing gender reassignment but had not undergone full surgery. when she was accused of repeatedly raping a woman in 2016. The 52-year-old, who had been previously jailed in 2001 for a sex attack on a child, told authorities she identified as a woman and was remanded into the HMP New Hall near Wakefield. But within days of arriving at the woman-only prison in late last September, White made a sexual advance on another inmate and attacked 3 others.
This is retarded. I mean, it does seriously. Well, we're throwing you in jail because you raped a woman.
Well, see,
well, I identify as a woman, so they throw her in. Or excuse me, good gosh, I can't believe it. They threw it in to the female prison.
Yes,
as if it is a female. You see, now it's crazy, but that system out there, these people go, oh yeah, well he identifies as a woman, so we'll call it a her and throw her. That's more insane.
Okay, the transgender thing, that was in Britain, but it's still a liberal-esque type policy. So
it's in Britain.
Yes, and I guess over there you get to decide what you are when they send you to prison. So you can say, I'm a man, I need to go to a men's prison, or I'm a woman, I need to go to a woman's prison, which is stupid. I mean, it's just stupidity. But like I said, going back to this thing here in California, couldn't you just say, well, you see 5 men on our board, but 3 of them identify as a woman, so they're women.
Matter of fact, half of our board identifies as women, so we want a tax break.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to show the duality, the stupidity of these liberal ideologies. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yep. There's no doubt. And they act as if it's normal, and that's what drives me bonkers.
Yeah, and if I were these women inmates, I'd be suing that prison.
Well, then if they do that, they're bigots for not recognizing him as a her.
They'd be rich bigots, though.
Only if they can find some sane people on the jury, or however they do it over there.
That's very true. We don't seem to have very many sane people in this world today.
Nope, not a bit. Hey,
speaking of insanity,
are you ever notice that when you send somebody to Congress, they stay there forever?
Oh yeah, somebody like Feinstein.
Yeah, Feinstein or Pelosi. Or how much is Maxine Waters worth now?
Well, in my mind, 0, but monetarily, probably a lot.
Yeah, and Bernie Sanders. Bernie doesn't. He didn't have a job, and he was in welfare until he was 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't.
And now he's got tons of money.
Yeah, I don't think he started voting until his 40s either.
I wish he had stopped voting in Congress right now, but that's beside the point.
Well, and it's you know what? It's the same with Jerry Brown. He's never held an actual job. He went to the seminary, failed out of that, got into politics, and has been in politics ever since.
And California's gone downhill ever since.
Yep.
Well, there's a way that these people go up there and they make money, and this is the reason why you can't get rid of them. They will not let you fire them, it seems like. Lobbyists. You ever heard of a lobbyist?
Yeah, it's a place in the hotel that you go before you go up to your room, the lobbyist.
No, the lobby is there. The lobbyist is the one that takes your bags in the lobby.
And rummages through them and takes anything he can.
No, that would be a politician. No, I was thinking about this. As a matter of fact, I got to work, and I'm walking to work and ran to the woman I worked with, and we're walking towards the hangar we go to. And I said, I had a thought that crossed my mind. What do you think of term limits? Are you good? Are you with term limits?
Oh,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm fully down with term limits.
Well, here's the thing. I was against term limits at one point. I thought that, it's up to us to send them home or let them stay up there. That's why they're called elections. But here's the problem. Let's talk about lobbyists. And this is from represent.us. Action/5 facts about lobbyists. Okay? The average senator has to pull in more than $14,000 every day just to stay in office. Holy smokes. One of the easiest ways to raise that kind of cash is to turn to lobbyists who make big donations and organize swanky fundraisers for elected officials in order to buy influence for their clients. Now, you can't go up there and say, here's $100,000, Mr. Congressman, and I appreciate if you vote it my way. You do it, vote for me. Vote for whatever my thing is. Can't do that. Obviously, that's a bribe, and you would go to jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, you pay somebody else to go up there, and they can't do it either. But what they do is say, hey, we're going to have this really nifty fundraiser, okay? And come on, and by the way, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, money, money, money. And by the way, this is what Bob wants. Now, you may want to kind of help Bob out here, and he'll be able to help you out again. We'll keep you up here as long as you're helping us out. That sounds dirty. You know?
Yeah, just a little bit.
And even lobbyists write laws for themselves. Now, for example, look at 2014 omnibus budget deal. Congress used the deal to secretly put taxpayers back on the hook for bank bailouts. That's right. 2014, our representatives repealed a law that prevented the American people from bailing out big banks that engage in risky derivatives trading. Okay. Well, 70 of the 85 lines of that language was written by lobbyists. Okay.
Well, you can't expect the politicians to actually do work.
No. It was written by Citigroup lobbyists. Okay. Wow, isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out, and I've got another couple of pages right here pulled up.
Well, you know what? Before you go on, real quick, just something that is recent. John Kyle will be taking over for McCain in the Arizona Senate, but he was in the Senate before, is now a lobbyist, and now will be coming back to the Senate. So you see how interchangeable they are. You know what I mean? It's kind of
they are.
And Paul Ryan too. He's already made it known that he's retiring. He's going to become a lobbyist.
That's what they do.
So they're all greasing each other up.
They step out of politics. They go into lobbyists. They give themselves a 15,000% pay raise by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's on top of the money they've been bilking out of lobbies all this time anyway.
You know what? There's a perfect example of this sort of in radio where I come from. Like you've heard of, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard on the radio. This band is playing in Las Vegas, and we'll send you and a friend to Las Vegas if you just are caller 10 or whatever. You've heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way that works is, like, say the band is Stone Temple Pilots. The music company can't give money to the radio station and say, here, play our band, because that would be payola. That's against the law. So what they do is they make up these elaborate winnings. So you see what I'm saying? They're paying the radio station without paying the radio station. So it's a legal bribe, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exactly the same thing.
Well, here's some lobbyists, lobbying companies, whatever, or companies that buy lobbyists. And the first one's probably going to blow your socks off. $43,700,000 in 2018 so far was paid out by U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
They need more chambers. I don't know.
Or more commerce.
Yeah. Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's not surprising to you. They paid so far about $12 million. Actually, it's $11,822,346, but, by now it's a bigger number, I'm sure. American Medical Association, $11 million and some change. Alphabet Incorporated, what is that, Big Bird?
Well, hey, hold on a second. Why would the American Medical Association need to lobby Congress? Aren't they supposed to be healing people?
For the right amount of money, they'll heal you, yes.
I suppose so.
There's a great one right here. I love this one. Open Society Policy Center. That, if I'm not mistaken, that is George Soros' little thing.
I was going to say, that one sounded very familiar.
$13 million.
Oh, and to hear some people say, "Oh, Soros doesn't give any money." Yeah, he does.
Yeah. AT&T, $10 million. Boeing. Now, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, those aren't really surprising. I mean, they're aiming for the military-industrial complex thing. Boeing is $7.5 million. Lockheed Martin is 6.8 million.
I'm actually surprised it's not more than that.
I was too when I saw this. It's just, you would think they'd be really spending, because there's a lot of money. Trust me, I am in the military-industrial complex. These corporations make gobs of money. And I'm going to thank you as a taxpayer, you the taxpayer, I want to thank you for, allowing me to have a very good paycheck. Really, I don't do anything that's productive. To me, productivity is those people who are making things, chairs, socks, whatever. They are producing things. Me, I work. But
you're talking about all the Chinese.
Yes, the Chinese and the Mexicans and the Guatemalans and the Vietnamese. I really appreciate those hard-working Americans over there.
Hecho in Guatemala.
Yeah. But I wouldn't even try to count up, but I think I already did. Somebody did. You did say how much money. Oh, $715 million. When the 50 biggest spenders doled out $715 million in 2016. That's the top 50. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. And so these guys go up there, and gals, and people who identify as something else once, I don't know. But they get up there, and they stay up there, and they make a lot of money. And it just annoys the crap out of me. And then on top of that, insider trading for stocks and stuff. We can't do that, but they can, because they write the laws.
Yep.
So they're allowed to do that.
Well, the big question to me is, how did we seem to go for almost 200 years with Congress being basically a part-time job?
Well, they found out how to make a lot of money up there.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is we seem to get by just fine for almost 200 years. I mean, it wasn't until, I don't know, around the 50s or so that it became sort of a full-time job. And I don't know, I think we need to go back to a part-time Congress.
Well, I got an idea for that. I mean, really, they already call themselves. I mean, nothing really has changed. I mean, they go off, they go up there and they screw up the country for several weeks, and they go off for the summer vacation.
Yeah. Except
for this time, they're being held there so they can hopefully do something with something. I already forgot. Politics is boring nowadays. Well, all it is Trump evil, Trump evil, Trump evil. Anything Trump wants to do is evil. So, how about this? Senators, you elect a senator, he goes up there for 6 years. All right?
One term.
No more. The House of Representatives, okay, they only go there for 2 years of whack. Okay, we'll give them 2 terms.
All right, I can agree with that.
All right. Now, this really kills the need for, especially a senator, to take money to be for his campaign thing.
Well, yeah, because he's going to have nothing to spend it on later.
Right.
For his war chest.
You can't say we're going to throw you this fundraiser when there's no reason to have a fundraiser. All right. Maybe the House of Representatives have a little issue with that, but only one time, And this way, if you do that, it's going to make it a little bit more honest.
Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe there's been a push for term limits in the past, and it's always basically shot down because they don't agree to it.
Well, we should really think about this. Think about, hey, y'all out there in podcast listening land, talk to your friends and neighbors. Get this talk going, because you know what? They're killing us. They really are. Look, you have your insurance programs, but they don't compare to what Congress has. Okay, they stay up there, and they write things that affect us, but they don't affect themselves. Now, if they only got to stay up there for 2 years or 6 years, I think maybe they'd be thinking a little bit differently about that.
Yeah.
Term limits for everybody.
I think so. There is a meme going around. It's been around for a while. I'm sure you've seen it, where it's a bunch of Congress people, and their jackets are like the racing.
Oh, the NASCAR pit crews.
Yeah, exactly. NASCAR pit crews, and where they have all the patches of anybody that's donated to them. And I think that's a great idea. They should have to wear jackets like that, so we can tell exactly who's donated to them.
Well, I definitely agree. And we got, how much time have we gone through?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. I want to give you some more numbers here. We can cover this more in depth if you like later. Or we could run long. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. I don't want to run long. Forget about that. Agencies. These agencies that they create for themselves, or they themselves create, that really, why do we need these things? Okay, let me show you some numbers here where money that is out of our pockets is thrown into government agencies that you didn't elect, you didn't vote for, they just created. The Environmental Protection Agency. This is proposed budget for 2019. $6.146 billion. That's nothing compared to the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy was created so we would become energy dependent. That was back in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. We're not there yet. It's not doing it. Department of Energy, $30.6 billion. Department of Homeland Security, $47.5 billion, and I don't feel any more secure. HUD, Housing and Urban Development, $41.24 billion. Do we really need HUD?
Well, you know what? I mean, how many
FBI.
How many houses could you build with that much money? You know what I mean?
A lot.
I mean, yeah, if they could take that money and actually build houses and give them to people for free for that much.
Yeah, look what Jimmy Carter does.
Yeah.
The FBI is costing you $8.92 billion.
All the houses are shaped like peanuts. That's the only drawback.
Did you know I did not know. You're just evil. Did you know that the Peace Corps is actually a government program?
I did not know that.
I didn't either, but they're getting $396 million.
Maybe their actual full name is Piece of Your Wallet Corps.
Yeah. Department of Educational discretionary aid is $63.2 billion. Again, all these agencies, all these things here, these were creations of politicians. They do us really what good? I mean, the DEA. DEA is part of intelligence, I believe. I'm not sure. But do we still have drugs in this country?
Well, of course, that's how we fund the CIA.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know why national intelligence programs like CIA, $59.9 billion. Military intelligence programs only get $21.2 billion. Oh, by the way, the IRS is getting $11.6 billion from you, so that they can turn around and take more.
Well, yeah, it takes $11.6 billion to take my money.
Yeah. So think of these agencies that we could do without. HUD, really, that can be done at a local level. DEA, we have cops.
Well,
we have so many of these agencies that are just bilking us dry.
You know what, though? Not only that, think about, like, I don't know how it is for you, but here in California, the DMV sucks. When you go to the DMV, there's like 2 windows open, and then there's probably 50 other people just sitting there doing nothing that don't open their windows. And I can only imagine in these other things you've been talking about, just the bureaucracy. There's probably so many people doing nothing that we're paying for. I mean, really, at the very least, if we're not going to get rid of them, let's go through them and just cut out the fat.
Oh, now you're talking about unemploying fat people. That's just not nice. But I don't see why we have to have these things. Education hasn't got any better since the Department of Education was created. We've gotten dumber.
Yeah, it's gotten worse, if anything.
I mean, people don't even know what sex they are anymore. But we have sex education class in schools. Everything they touch goes the exact backwards. It's very odd. DEA. We have right now an opioid epidemic. Well, we've been paying all this money to the DEA. How come? It doesn't make sense. So term limits for the politicians, that'll starve out the lobbyists. Oh, my goodness, the politicians will have to get a real job when they get kicked out of Washington. And call these stupid agencies that are not necessary. And on top of that, many of them are downright unconstitutional. So anyhow. Before we go, I'd like to plug a couple of things. One, prepperforms.net. That's where you can go to hang out with us. So we don't talk there, we type, and we highly suggest you do too. Also, we want to mention our website. We have a website that sometimes we go to even. Sass, what is it?
DentonandSasquatch.com.
And our email?
DentonandSassShow@gmail.com.
Yes, yes. Oh, by the way, I'll be on somebody else's show Saturday, this coming Saturday. Wasteland Media. He was on with us last week, I believe, wasn't he?
Yep.
I think it was last week. Yep. He's having me on his show. He's going to be interviewing a Nazi.
That should be fun.
He thought it'd be kind of special if I was there, too. So
I think it'll be special.
Great. He's pretty sure YouTube's going to ban that video right off the bat, but maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, I'm pretty sure we're picking doomed anyway. So, well, what should we do?
Well, we should drink up and vote for term limits.
That's right. Good night.
Penny, nickel, dime, quarter, let's learn. Penny, nickel, dime, quarter, let's learn. Money, money, money in my pocket. Money, money, I know how to count it. Money, money, money in my pocket. Money, money, I know how to count it. What's it worth? How much is a penny? 1 cent. How much is a nickel? 5 cents.